The moment a new pope steps onto the balcony of St. Peter's Basilica, the world sees a man dressed in white, waving humbly and offering his first blessing. But behind that historic appearance is a sacred transformation, one shaped by a series of deeply symbolic gifts. The papacy is not simply a role, it is a vocation wrapped in centuries of tradition, and each item given to the new pontiff carries with it layers of theology, history, and spiritual mission. In this video, we reveal the 7 sacred items every new pope receives and why they're not just symbolic. These aren't just garments or accessories. They're declarations of what the papacy is and what it is meant to be. Number 7, the white cassock, a sign of death and resurrection. The first garment the pope wears is the white cassock, or soutane. It's simple, elegant, and instantly recognizable. But why white? White is traditionally the color of baptism, symbolizing purity, new life, and spiritual rebirth. When the new pope dons the white cassock for the first time, often in the room of tears, he is not simply changing outfits. He is stepping into a new spiritual reality. The white garment echoes the linen shroud of Christ and the garments of those who rise in the book of Revelation. It's also a kind of funeral garment. The man he once was, cardinal, bishop, theologian, dies in that moment. What emerges is Peter reborn. His identity is no longer his own. He now carries the weight of the universal church. The cassock isn't tailored for fashion. In fact, 3 sizes are always prepared in advance. It's not about how it fits the body, but how it fits the soul. Number 6, the Fisherman's Ring, authority rooted in apostolic mission. Next comes the Fisherman's Ring, a golden ring engraved with an image of St. Peter casting his net. This is no ordinary piece of jewelry. It represents the Pope's role as the successor of Peter, the first fisherman of souls. Historically, the ring was used as a seal for official documents. It symbolized the Pope's unique authority to bind and loose, to teach and to govern. Upon the death or resignation of a pope, the ring is ceremonially destroyed, reminding us that this authority is never personal, but always ministerial. When the new pope receives this ring, it is placed on his finger not merely as an honor, but as a responsibility. It tells the world, this man now casts the net for all humanity. He doesn't rule from power, but from a call to draw all souls to Christ. Many Catholics may see the ring as a custom, but in truth, it is the spiritual signature of the papacy. Number 5, the Palium, the yoke of the Good Shepherd. Often overlooked by the public eye, the Palium is a narrow woolen band placed around the Pope's shoulders, woven from the wool of lambs blessed on the feast of St. Agnes. It represents the yoke of Christ, the burden of the shepherd who carries his flock. The design features 6 black crosses and 2 pendants, one hanging in front and one in back, representing the Pope's responsibility to guide the church forward while remaining faithful to its past. The wool itself symbolizes the lost sheep, those the shepherd must constantly seek. By wearing it, the Pope not only identifies with Christ the Good Shepherd, but also with the vulnerable, the wounded, and the straying. It is placed on the shoulders, not the head, because the Pope is first a servant. His leadership is weight-bearing. The Palium is not about status, but sacrifice. Number 4, the papal ferula, the cross that leads the way. Unlike the crozier used by bishops, the Pope carries a ferula, a staff topped not with a shepherd's crook, but with a cross. The papal ferula symbolizes that the Pope does not shepherd a single diocese, but leads the entire church in the name of Christ crucified. The staff has varied throughout history, sometimes with a simple cross, other times with an image of Christ. But it always speaks of one thing: the cross is the only true authority. When the new pope steps out for the first time with the ferula in hand, he does so not to show dominion, but to show direction. It is a silent homily. Follow this cross, not me. And for the Pope, it is a reminder that the weight he carries is not gold, but wood, the wood of the cross that leads to resurrection. Number 3, the red papal shoes, a martyr's footsteps. One of the most visually striking items in the papal wardrobe is the red shoes. While not always used in recent years, their symbolism remains powerful. Red represents the blood of the martyrs. When the Pope wears red shoes, he walks in the footsteps of those who gave everything for the faith. It is a visible reminder that the path of Peter often leads not to palaces, but to prisons, persecution, and even death. In ancient Rome, red was also a symbol of imperial dignity, but the church transformed it. Now red means witness. Red means martyrdom. Red means the Pope does not walk alone, but with the saints of every century. Some popes have chosen simpler footwear. Others have restored the red. Regardless, the tradition speaks. The papacy is not about luxury, it's about legacy. Number 2, the chair of Peter, not just a seat, but a sacrament of unity. Though not a physical item handed over, the Cathedra Petri, the chair of Peter, is the most foundational of all. It is the spiritual seat the Pope occupies, not made of wood, but of apostolic authority. Located in St. Peter's Basilica and surrounded by Bernini's magnificent sculpture, the chair represents the unity of the Church. It is why we call the Pope the Holy See, because he holds the seat of Peter. When a new Pope is elected, he symbolically takes that seat. He doesn't own it. He occupies it for a time, as a steward of tradition, truth, and the communion of the faithful. The world may look at thrones and see power, but the Church looks at the chair of Peter and sees service. It is not a throne of gold, but a seat of witness. Number 1, the name he chooses, a silent prophecy. Perhaps the most intimate item a new pope receives is one he gives himself, his name. When the cardinal electors ask, "Do you accept?" and the new pope says, "Accepto," he is then asked, "By what name shall you be called?" In that moment, he names not just himself, but his papacy. The name chosen echoes saints, former popes, and theological visions. John Paul, Benedict, Francis. Each one carries history. Each one sets a tone. It is the only moment of self-expression the new pope gets before the world sees him. And yet it speaks volumes. The name is not a brand. It's a mission. When the world hears Habemus Papam followed by the chosen name, they are not just hearing identity, they are hearing intention. What kind of shepherd will this man be? The name is the first clue. These 7 items are not decorations, they are declarations. Each one, placed on the new pope or chosen by him, is a signpost for the Church and the world. In a time where leadership is often reduced to image, the papacy still reminds us, what you wear, carry, and name yourself can be holy if it leads others not to yourself, but to Christ. Which of these sacred items surprise you the most? And which do you think speaks most clearly to the world today? Let us know in the comments and subscribe for more journeys into the sacred traditions of the Church.